Stream will begin in roughly 4 minutes. Tonight, we're going to be doing something a little different. Instead of playing a horror adventure with jump scares and tense moments, visuals, I've been playing around with the idea of reading. And I thought it would be interesting to find a old school text adventure and play through it quietly late at night and just help you relax, fall asleep. And I like horror games. So, I found this little gem. Anchorhead is written in the style of H.P. Lovecraft. I know very little about it, aside from the fact that it got rave reviews from the interactive fiction community. The goal is to stream for at least an hour tonight, depending on how we do and whether my voice holds up. I might stream a little longer. All alert notifications have been put on silent. As always, we appreciate any follows, donations, bits, subscriptions, raids, and hosts. But due to the idea of creating a nice, relaxing atmosphere, all of the alerts have been put on silent. Thank you, Special K. How is my voice? Is it loud enough? Awesome. Evening, Two Gun. Good to see you. It's been a long time since I've played an interactive fiction, and as such, they tend to be fairly terse in their ability to obscure the way forward and obscure actions that you can take in the game. So, backseat gaming is going to be allowed. I will take my time after reading a passage to give chat a moment, who is most likely ahead of me in the story anyways, to give me direction. Well, that's the goal, Goofy. Hopefully my voice will be boring enough to keep you relaxed until the scary parts approach. You may also hear barking dogs in the background. I apologize for that. That being said, I suppose we should go ahead and get started. This is Anchorhead. Outside the real estate office, you take a deep breath of salty air as the first raindrops begin to spatter the pavement, and the swollen, slate-covered clouds that blanket the sky mutter ominous portents amongst themselves over the little coastal town of Anchorhead. Squinting up into the storm, you wonder how everything managed to happen so fast. A strange phone call from a lawyer claiming to represent the estate of some distant branch of Michael's family was only a month ago. Then came the sudden whirlwind of planning and decisions, legal details and travel arrangements, packing up and shipping away your entire life. And now, here you are, over 1,000 miles from home after driving for 2 days straight, getting ready to move into the ancestral mansion of a clan of relatives so far removed that not even Michael has ever heard of them. You've only been married since June, and none of this was any of your idea in the first place. And already it's starting to rain. A sullen belch emanates from the clouds, and the rain starts coming down harder. Fat, cold drops smacking loudly against the cobblestones. Shouldn't it be snowing in New England this time of year? With a sigh, you open your umbrella. I can, Special K. That should do it. All right. Now, is that going to move this up? Ah, there. Welcome to Anchorhead. Now, dim the game screen. Oh, is the actual Anchorhead window too bright? I see what you're saying. I don't know that I can. Let's see. Properties. That'll do it. We'll get this all set up. Image mask, blend, color correction? Let's try that. Brightness. There we go. Much better. Much better. All right. Thank you for the heads up, Special K. Welcome to Anchorhead. So, where are we? I believe the first step in interactive fiction, generally speaking, is to look around. Oh. Outside the real estate office. A grim little cul-de-sac, tucked away in one corner of the claustrophobic tangle of narrow, twisting avenues that comprise the older portion of Anchorhead. Like most of the streets in this city, it is ancient, shadowy, and leads essentially nowhere. The lane ends here at the real estate agent's office. Excuse me while I tell my wife to quiet the dogs down. Please keep the dogs quiet. Thank you, period. Well, if people want, we'll see. Leave it as is now. Like most of the streets in this city, it is ancient, shadowy, and leads essentially nowhere. The lane ends here at the real estate agent's office, which lies to the east, and winds its way back towards the center of town to the west. A narrow, garbage-choked alley opens to the southeast. You shake yourself, try to force the melancholy thoughts from your head. You're supposed to meet with the real estate agent and get the keys to your new house, while Michael runs across town to take care of some paperwork at the university. He'll be back to pick you up in a few minutes, and then the two of you can begin the long, precarious process of settling in. So, it's the TV screen. That's what's so bright. I've dimmed it as much as possible. Again, this tonight is going to be about seeing what it looks like and playing with settings and seeing how we can get it set up unfortunately the game menu is rather white. Unless... oh, there is no way to change the color of it. Oh well. Now, from this description, it sounds like we're standing outside a building, a real estate agent's office. And I'm not sure who we are. We're married to Michael, so I'm assuming we're some female. Let's see if I can examine myself. I look good, considering. It's a good enough start. Let's go to the real estate agent's office. So we'll go east. The glass-paneled door is locked, and you lack a key. Examine the door. The door has a glass panel with the name of the real estate company, Benson and Brackhurst, stenciled across it. The rain slackens off momentarily to a weak drizzle, and returns afresh in a brief, freezing downpour. I wonder if I can check my inventory. You're wearing your trench coat and your wedding ring, and holding your umbrella, which is open. Pockets of your trench coat are empty. Interactive book is interactive fiction, what's known as a text adventure. Some of the more popular were called adventure or Zork, where the game describes the situation that you see around you, and it is your job to guess what the appropriate verbs, actions are you can take in the game to progress the storyline. In this one, it appears we are stuck outside trying to meet with someone, and unfortunately, they're not there. So, in this case, let's examine the area. So let's look around again. Alright, that first description basically says the same thing. Clouds overhead mutter restlessly to themselves. In the distance, you can hear the lonesome keening of the train whistle drifting on the wind. There is an alleyway to the southeast. Let's go that direction. Garbage-choked alley. This narrow aperture between two buildings is choked with piles of rotting cardboard boxes and overstuffed garbage cans. Ugly, half-crumbling brick walls totter over you on either side. The east end of the alley is blocked by a tall wooden fence. A rusty fire escape clings to the side of the northern building. The ladder is retracted, its lowest rung hanging about 10 feet up above one of the garbage cans. A sudden gust blows a cold spray of rain in your face. Now, I can go east and check out the wooden fence, or I can attempt to climb the fire escape. Now, why a normal person would try to break into a real estate agent's office is beyond me. This is a game, so let's see. Goofy, it appears it's a little bit out of our reach, but let's try. The metal ladder is too high for you to reach. Let's climb on top of the garbage cans. You clamber onto the wobbling garbage can, precariously balanced. The bottom rung of the fire escape is now just a few feet above your head. Crab ladder. You still can't quite reach the bottom rung, just a few inches above your outstretched fingertips. The clouds overhead mutter restlessly to themselves. Jump? Not a good idea. This garbage can is very wobbly. I don't think that's going to be the best way forward. Let's climb down. Carefully, you descend. Let's examine the fence at the end. One of the boards seems to be loose down at the bottom. You could probably squeeze through. Now, where I'm going with this, I don't know, but I like exploring. Let's see, squeeze through fence. Dropping to your hands and knees, you wriggle underneath the loose board and scramble down a muddy slope. Littered beach. The narrow strip of sand tucked away between two outcroppings in the rocky shoreline, accessible only by way of a steep, muddy slope to the west. The sand is filthy and strewn with rocks, seaweed, and other bits of storm-tossed detritus. Near the bottom of the slope, a sewage outflow pipe juts over the beach, about 3 feet above the ground. A thin stream of acrid-smelling sewage trickles out over the lip of the pipe, forming a puddle in the sand. A sudden gust blows a cold spray of rain in your face. Now, everything about this tells me that this is not where I need to be. I was trying to get together with a real estate agent, and now I'm on a beach covered in sewage. I could continue on, examining the sewage, examining the pipe, or we could go back. Maybe see what lies up the road. After all, Michael should be picking us up sometime soon. What is there to examine? Not much. Just the sewage outflow pipe. Let's examine that while I'm here. The opening of the concrete pipe is about 2 feet wide and pitch black on the inside. Let's not. We'll go back west. Now we're back into the garbage-choked alley. Let's see. According to this, if I continue west, maybe, we'll be back at the front. The only exit from the alley is to the northwest. Although you could climb up the fire escape, you could only reach the ladder. You might also be able to slip under a loose board in the fence to the east. I wonder if I could stack boxes here. Stack is not a verb the game recognizes. Let's go back. We're now back outside the real estate office. According to the description, the way back towards the center of town is to the west. As my appointment has run astray, I think the best thing to do would be head back into town and see if we can't find ourselves some entertainment for now. Heading west. Narrow street. Would you like me to go back and pile the cardboard? Let me read this and I'll try that. As the street winds along from east to west, it narrows until the rooftops on either side practically touch each other. To the south is a twisting lane even narrower than this one, while a short flight of steps to the north leads down to the local watering hole. Keep that in mind really quick. We're going to go back and see if we can't pile some cardboard together. Southeast, there we go. Pile cardboard. Examine boxes. The boxes are filthy, slimy, and soaked with rain. Imagine they'll fall apart for you. Try to stack them. Climb boxes. The wet cardboard slips and tears under your feet. Alright, let's go back to the center of the city. Narrow street again. A short flight of steps to the north leads down to a local watering hole. Let's head into the local watering hole. There were no bricks in that alley. North. You close your umbrella and step inside. Oh, we got a picture. Local pub. A dank and claustrophobic hole in the wall. Greasy smoke pools amidst the low-hanging rafters, and the smell of decades worth of beer, and probably worse, oozes from the floorboards. An exit to the south leads back out into the street. A few of the local mill workers and fishermen are here, drinking beer and puffing at long-stemmed pipes. The bartender slouches at one end of the bar, watching me with a sullen eye. An old lantern casts a dim, flickering glow across the bar. I suppose we could use this to pass the time while we wait for the real estate agent to show up. Let's see. Examine lantern. It's an old-fashioned hurricane lamp with a glass chimney to protect it from the wind. The cotton wick burns fitfully in its reservoir of oil. The bartender leans over and spits on the floor. Interesting. He must not like us. Something about the bartender's glare makes you think better about taking the lantern. Maybe he's a troublemaker. Trying to get me in trouble over here, Goofy. I don't trust you anymore. Alright. Talk to the bartender. The bartender pretends to notice something very interesting over at the other end of the bar. The bartender produces a rag from somewhere and listlessly swipes at the bar. Doesn't seem like he wants to speak to us. Oh, try to order a beer. The bartender flashes you a look of contempt. Apparently, he only serves the locals. The question is, what are we doing? Because I was supposed to be waiting for the real estate agent. We couldn't get in the office. So, I wonder what it is they're expecting of me. There's not really much to do in here. Talk to fishermen. No one seems interested in talking. He's wiping the bar off. I don't think he wants to talk to us because we're not a local. Let's go back to that alleyway. Let's see if we can't figure out. So we need just a few more feet. What if we were to push the cans? The garbage can is too heavy to move. Interesting. I'm a little bit at a loss here. I am weak. Let's go back and knock on door. We rap on the glass sharply, peering through it into a dark room inside. No one answers. Strange. You just talked to the real estate agent yesterday. She was supposed to meet you here. Look inside. You see nothing unexpected in that direction. Let's examine the office. The door has a glass panel with the name of the real estate company, Benson and Bracker, stenciled across it. so the can is too heavy to move. Climb wall. Little is to be achieved by that. Climb ladder. It's too high for you to reach. Look around. Wait. Open can. You find nothing interesting or useful amongst the wet garbage. Search alley. Alright. We're gonna go back. Let's go check. The knob is locked. Turn knob. Can't see such a thing. Open door. It is locked and you lack a key. Break glass. So frustrated, you're not prepared to smash the door in quite yet. Now we're back at the littered beach. You hear the lonely clanging of a buoy somewhere far out to sea. Now we have a sewage outflow pipe. Let's try entering the sewer pipe. Enter pipe. It's pitch dark and you can't see a thing. Exit pipe. You stumble through the darkness, bumping into things. Well, I left the pipe. That's not any good. So, those of you internet warriors, feel free to help out. Follow pipe. Not a verb I recognize. Search boxes. The wet cardboard falls apart in your hand. Well, let's go walk through the city, shall we? Alright. So if we go back west, back at the narrow street. To the south is a twisting lane even narrower than this one. Well, we're looking for horror, so let's do that. Twisting lane. The lane narrows here, a little more than a badly cobbled sidewalk, as it winds its way into one of the older neighborhoods. Buildings press close on every side. Tiny alleyways branch off in every direction. Well, I'm not really sure where to go. Can I use the board from the fence? It's possible. Oh. I don't know where I was going, but I headed north on accident. You make your way through the dark, tangled streets, heading down several slippery steps to a cold, sunken passage, stumbling through a series of filthy alleys that reek of rotting fish. It's not long before you're utterly lost. You take several blind turns, hoping to find some landmark you recognize, and suddenly find yourself emerging onto a river walk. This street follows along the mud-slick banks of the Miskahane before bending south, turning into a misty avenue between the trees. Steep stone steps lead down to the water's edge. The town square lies west, and a vacant lot lies east. The rain slackens off momentarily to a weak drizzle, and returns a fresh and a brief freezing downpour. Let's make sure our umbrella is open. Already open, that's good. We can go down to the water's edge, or we can enter the town square. Let's go to the town square to the west. Town square. Claustrophobic streets finally open out here onto this wide expanse of uneven pavestones in the center of town. The municipal courthouse stands at the south end of the square. Avenues to the west and east lead back into the cramped, ingrown street, while to the north lies Wadeley Bridge. In the center of the square, rising from a circular lawn of unhealthy-looking grass, stands a stone obelisk. Oh, now things are getting interesting. I'm going to examine the obelisk since we're here, and then we'll go to the empty lot. Examine obelisk. The obelisk measures about 3 feet square at its base, narrowing slightly as it rises a good 15 feet to a blunt tip. It seems to be a monument of some sort, but you can see no plaque or marker anywhere near it. Dense, twisting hieroglyphs cover all 4 sides. Embedded in the stone, high up on one side, very near the top, is an iron ring. The rain beats down ceaselessly. Examine ring. A thick hoop of dark, crusted metal about 4 inches across. Interesting. Take ring? Oh. Take iron ring. It's too high for you to reach. Climb obelisk. They're too smooth to climb. Of course they are. Examine hieroglyphs. The characters twist in disturbing ways, flowing into and through each other, almost seeming to shift and squirm slightly as you try to follow their line. The effect is deeply unsettling. You have to suppress an urge to take a step or two back away from the monument. Clouds overhead mutter ceaselessly to themselves. Touch. Obelisk. Strange. The stone is warm to the touch despite the frigid weather. Jump to iron ring. The iron ring is too high for you to reach. Very well. Look around. Claustrophobic streets open out here, onto this wide expanse of uneven pavestones in the center of town. The municipal courthouse stands at the south end of the square. Well, Goofy asked us to go to the empty lots, so let's go east and see if we can't get back there. Back on the Riverwalk. Very well, vacant lot lies to the east. Once a building stood here. Now, there is only cracked pavement, rampant weeds, breaks in the chain-link fence by east and west. Filthy old mattress lies among the weeds, over in one corner of the lot. Well, of course we're going to examine that. Examine mattress. Mattress is stained and ragged, oozing stuffing in several places, and the cans and food wrappers scattered about it. Looks as though someone's been using it as a bed. But not today. Move mattress. The thing is filthy and probably infested with bugs. You prefer not to touch it, or at least as little as possible. The rain slackens off momentarily to a weak drizzle and returns fresh in a brief freezing downpour. Well, I came in from the west. It looks like I can go to the east. But let's search the mattress first. It doesn't want me to touch it. Let's search loft. No. Okay, so we'll go west. Ah. No, wait, I'm sorry. I was in the east. We'll go east. Wharf. A ramshackle wooden pier extends several yards out into the ocean. Several fishing boats are tied nearby, standing against their hawsers in this uneasy weather. The west path leads back to land. At the end of the pier stands a lone wooden post like a half-finished gibbet. Tied to the end of the pier, somewhat apart from the larger boats, is a small dinghy. Now, I have a feeling we're getting way off track from where we're supposed to be, but really given us much to work with, have they? Examine and gibbet. The post is about 6 feet high with a big iron hook sticking out near the top. Take hook? Seems to be a part of the wooden post. Take the post. Get it. That's fixed in place. Break. Get it. Violence is unlikely to help you here. Very well. Examine dinghy. It's small and weather-beaten, but it looks seaworthy. There's a pair of oarlocks attached to either side, but only one oar, though. The dinghy is tied to the pier by a short mooring line, with a lonely clanging of a buoy somewhere far out to sea. Maybe that oar can help us. Oh, take oar. It's locked into place, so clearly not. Let's go back west. We're back in the town square now. The claustrophobic streets open out here onto this wide expanse of uneven pavestones in the center of town. The municipal courthouse stands at the south end of the square. Avenues to the west and east lead back into the cramped ingrown streets. To the north lies Wadley Bridge. Now, let's check the courthouse. At least in there, we'll be out of the rain for a little. The courthouse is closed for the day. Very well. Overhead, the clouds flicker in a greenish haze of sheet lightning. Well, I suppose we could go to the bridge then. Let's cross Whately Bridge. Whately Bridge, a hoary monument of crumbling mossy flagstone. Whately Bridge is possibly older than any other structure in the entire town. It spans the dark Miskahani River, connecting the north and south halves of the city and occasionally raining bits of mortar from the underside into the torpid water. Examine the bridge. The cobblestones are slick with rain and worn with many centuries' passage. Let's go north. North Square. To the north, a gap in the crowded press of buildings opens onto a road heading out over a grassy heath. Main Street continues to the south towards Whately Bridge, the center of town, while a narrow side street leads east. On top of the steep drive to the northwest, you can just make out the ivory-covered walls of this university. Well, let's go northwest. Maybe one of these will actually be open. Ooh, good. University courtyard. The university campus huddles around this tiny cobbled court, isolated and serene behind ivy-covered walls. City streets lie southeast. To the west is the library, where Michael told you he'd be until he came back to the real estate agent's office to pick you up, which, you cannot help but note with some annoyance, he has not yet done. Recall Michael describing this place on the long drive up here. Founded in the late 1800s, the university represents this benighted town's single, dubious, claim to cultural achievement. The school's reputation and enrollment have diminished over the years, as Anchorhead drifts further and further into the abyss of provincial backwaterism. But the library, at least, is still recognized for its collection of folklore and esoteric mythology. And the Board of Deans was kind enough to offer your husband a tenured position upon hearing of his recently discovered heritage and his plans to move into the estate. Not exactly Ivy League, but they do care for their own. A sudden gust of wind blows a cold spray of rain into your face. Though Michael was invited to town due to his heritage. No. The question is, do I want to enter the university, or do I want to go to the library? Well, Michael never came to pick me up, so maybe I should go check on him, see that he's okay. Let's go west. You close your umbrella as you step inside. Reading room. Most of the front area is taken up by reading desks, their green-shaded lamps casting tiny islets of radiance here and there amidst the library's dim interior. Shadows roost beneath the high vaulted ceiling. Whispers rustle at the edge of your hearing. An exit lies east, and a small alcove to the north houses the circulation desk. Peering through the dimness, you spot your husband at one of the reading desks, absorbed in some sort of weighty tome, clearly oblivious to the time. Let's examine him. Examine Michael. Tall and a bit on the gangly side, clumsy, sort of endearing way. That thick tangle of brown hair that you're always after him to cut. Those deep brown eyes framed by wire-rimmed glasses. Yep, this is the man you married. Michael is absorbed in his reading, unaware that you've been watching him. Michael turns a page in his book, reading intently. Talk, Michael. Talk to Michael. Michael looks up, startled, realizes it's you. "Hi, hon," he says. He closes the book and stretches. "Have you been waiting a long time? I'm so sorry. I just got absorbed here and lost track of time." He smiles sheepishly, then looks you up and down. "Wow, you look worse for the wear." "Well," he asks, "did you get the keys?" "No." Michael looks disappointed. "Well, I'm sure the real estate agent just stepped out for a bit. You can get the keys from her when she gets back." "Okay. I suppose I could leave him here." Examine the book. Michael's hand is on the cover, partially obscuring its title. Ask Michael about book. "What, this?" says Michael, glancing down at the book. "It's nothing important," says Michael, "just some research. Musty old stuff." Seems evasive. Well, at this point, I feel like we were supposed to get the keys. Now, how do we get the keys? I don't know. Let's see what we can find. The question, Goofy, is how to ask specific questions. Because punch him in the face? Well, let's see what happens. Punch Michael. He can be aggravating sometimes, but hitting him is unlikely to solve anything. Ask Michael about tenure? It doesn't look it, I know, but this place is very prestigious. Michael leans forward. I still cannot quite believe they offered me tenure right off the bat. That's just not done. They must really want me here. Why? Ask Michael. Why? Michael looks thoughtful. I wouldn't know about that, he says. Ask Michael about teaching. Don't know what else to tell you, says Michael with a shrug. It's a great opportunity for me. Take book. Michael puts his hand on the book and moves it away from you. Hey, I'm reading that, he says, a slight edge to his voice that you weren't expecting. Read book. As though eager to get back to it. Alright, we've got to figure out how to get those keys. Maybe if we go back. University courtyard. The university campus huddles around this tiny cobbled court, isolated and serene behind ivy-colored walls. City streets lie southeast, to the west of the library, where Michael is presumably still absorbed in his book. Alright. Let's go east from here. Good, good. This gets us back to the real estate office. I need to figure out how certain streamers get instant response from their chat. I spoke to one yesterday, and as soon as I typed something, he immediately responded. Outside the real estate office, once again, a grim little cul-de-sac tucked away in one corner across the prolific tangle of narrow, twisting avenues confines the older portion of Anchorhead. Like most of the streets in this city, it is ancient, shadowy, and leads essentially nowhere. The lane ends here at the real estate agent's office, which lies to the east, and winds its way back towards the center of town to the west. A narrow, garbage-choked alley opens to the southeast. Overhead, the clouds flicker in a greenish haze of sheet lightning. Yeah, I don't know why certain streamers have no delay. I need to research that. Right. So, knock on door. She's still not there. Alright. Empty can. Take board. Break fence. This is my problem with interactive fiction. It wouldn't let me break in. Well, I was in the bar, and they didn't want to talk to me. From what I'm reading, this is a fairly common hurdle for people at the beginning. Not in running shape? Alright. Let's see. Climb. Can. Up. Jump. Up. What's up, Jericho? How are you, buddy? Jump to ladder. Climb can. Yeah, and see, the problem is the walkthrough that I found just to answer this question. It doesn't actually work. Use grab ladder with umbrella. This is why y'all are here. First, closing the umbrella. You hook the handle of your umbrella around the bottom rung and put your whole weight on it. With a sudden ratcheting crash that nearly knocks you off the garbage can, the ladder slides down and locks into place. When running around town, looking for something with a hook, and here I have an umbrella. No, Jericho, that's just the way I'm doing my voice for this stream. This is a horror you to sleep. It's a relaxing reading of a horror game. Good. Well, now I can climb the ladder. And we can move on. The entire fire escape rattles ominously as you shimmy up the ladder. Exactly, Jericho. Fire escape. A shaky metal platform bolted to the crumbling brick, about 15 feet up. There's a window here at waist height, big enough for you to crawl through. The metal ladder provides access to the alley below. Silly, silly game. Hi, Valindas. You're up awful late, and I can see that. Well, hang out, and I will horror you to sleep, sweetie. Open window. For a moment, you are sure it will be locked. But to your surprise, the window slides up easily. Crawl in window. You hesitate. Breaking and entering is not your preferred way to spend a rainy afternoon. The real estate agent was supposed to be here, and damn it, you need those keys. Surely the judge will show leniency once you explain everything. With a sigh, you slip in through the window. File room. Peering through the murk, you make out the blocky outlines of filing cabinets lining the walls. A narrow stairway leads down to the office proper, and a window looks out onto a fire escape to the south. I'm sorry you can't sleep, Valindas. Hopefully this will help some. Examine cabinets. Ordinary filing cabinets, sorted alphabetically. Let's go downstairs. Down. Office. Grayish light trickles in through the drawn blinds. The office is quiet, deserted. A narrow staircase in the back leads up to the file room. The glass-paneled door leads west to the street. Sitting on the corner of the paper-strewn desk are a telephone and an answering machine. Someone has left a cup of coffee out, unfinished and cold. Examine answering machine. A simple digital answering machine, a button labeled play, a button labeled delete, and a small display indicating messages received. Display indicates there is one message on the machine. Interesting. I'm at the real estate agent's office. But I'll try. Call real estate agent. You start to dial out, but you can't get anything but a busy signal no matter how much you jiggle the receiver. I'm fantastic, Valindis. Thank you for showing up. Press play. For a while, there's nothing but a quiet hiss, followed by intermittent skirls of static. It sounds like one of those annoying glitches where the caller hangs up, but the machine keeps recording anyway. Then, barely audible through the static, you detect what sounds like a human voice whispering a single word. The machine beeps. A shudder ripples down your back. Remember now, Verlac is the name of this branch of Michael's family. It's girls indeed. Verlac. We did watch Game of Thrones. That's why we had to start the stream half an hour later than I expected to. It was good. But no, it's just the impression that I'm trying to set up. That I'm sitting inside a library reading a book to you. What did everyone think of tonight's episode of Game of Thrones? Verlac. Let's see if we can find some information on Michael in the upstairs file cabinets. But first, let's drink the coffee. You take one sip and nearly gag. Awful stuff. Go up. Peering through the murk, you can make out the blocky outlines of filing cabinets lining the walls. A narrow stairway leads down to the office proper, and a window looks out onto a fire escape to the south. Let's look up Verlac. You find the file for the Verlac property easily enough. The file is empty. Title, deed, all of the papers. All of it gone. The back of the drawer, however, is a set of keys that must have slipped out of the hanging folder. Relieved, you pocket them. Excellent. Well, now that I have the keys, let's go talk to Michael. Down. Unlock door. You turn the latch, unlocking the glass paneled door. Now, very quickly, we're going to head through the town. See if we can get back to Michael here. There we are. Talk to Michael. Oh, hey. Any luck with the keys? Look up obelisk. I didn't think about that. I don't think they would have anything on the obelisk because it was real estate. Yes. Great. Let's see him. Show keys. First, taking the key ring from your pocket. Excellent, says Michael. You hold on to that. I'll go put this book away. Michael goes north. I'm going to follow him. Circulation desk. A high counter divides the reading area from the stacks. A small sign affixed to the wall next to the counter provides instructions for those seeking to check out books. On the counter are a service bell and a dog-eared register. Michael is here. Michael rings the bell. A moment later, the gaunt and fish-eyed librarian emerges silently from the shadows behind the counter. Great. Time passes. Michael hands the book over to the librarian, who retreats it into the depths of the stacks. Oop, let me get big. We don't want to do that. Okay. South. Reading room. Michael is here waiting for you. Michael suddenly smacks his forehead. Ah, crap. Forgot to tell you, the car broke down. He spreads his hand. I don't know what happened to it. One second I'm parking outside, the next second it dies and I can't get it started again. I called a tow truck, but the nearest garage is over in Ipswich. They took the car, but won't be able to look at it until next week at the earliest. He offers you a lame smile. Guess we're walking home. You can hold the umbrella. Well, that was nice. Ask Michael about research. Let's just find the house first. Ask Michael about house. Oop, I can't spell. Michael about house. Let's get outside. I think I can remember where the house is if I just get my bearing. Well, let's go outside. The university campus huddles around this tiny, cobbled court, isolated and serene behind ivy-covered walls. City streets lie southeast. To the west is the library. I bet we need to at least go southeast. To the north, the gap in the crowded press of buildings opens out onto a road heading out over a grassy heath. The main street continues to the south towards Whately Bridge in the center of town, while a narrow side street leads east. Top of a steep driveway, you can just make out the ivory-covered walls of the university. A sudden gust blows a cold spray of rain in your face. Michael strolls along after you. Ask Michael about house. The house is on a hill just south of town, he thinks for a moment. We need to go that way, he says, pointing south. South it is. We're back on the bridge, and Michael hurries to catch up. Keep going south here. In the town square. In the center of the square, rising from a circular lawn, unhealthy-looking grass, sounds a stone obelisk. Wow, Michael says, looking the obelisk up and down. That is an impressive monument. Wonder what it's for. Ask Michael about monument. Let's just get to the house, okay, says Michael. It's getting late. Rain beats down ceaselessly. Let's go west. We went east. Shadowy corner. The buildings on this side of town are taller. Let's block more of the sky, making this neighborhood particularly dark and unpleasant. The main street leads away to the east, and a shadowy driveway leads to a high brick wall to the southwest. Michael rolls along after you. Ask Michael about house. We need to go that way, I think, he says, pointing east. I probably need to go east again. Riverwalk. Can I go south from here? Chilly Avenue. It is noticeably cooler along this lonely street at the edge of town, perhaps due to some unwholesome vapor rising from the waters of the nearby Miskahoney. Dirt roads lead west and south into the dense woods at the edge of town. Clammy mist hangs in the air, seeping through your clothes and making you shiver. Michael hurries to catch up but stops when he sees the mist. He stares at it for some time. It's strange, he murmurs. I think I've seen this before. He takes a step forward and is soon standing in the midst of the curling vapors. Suddenly, the mist parts before him, dissolves away into nothing. Michael hardly seems surprised at all. Michael heads west, quickening his pace. The road climbs sharply, heading up into the hills. Scenic view. Halfway up the hill, a break in the trees reveals a panoramic view of the Miskahoney River Valley, and the squalid little town of Anchorhead nestled within it. The town is a jumbled sprawl of rooftops spreading out before you. You can see the university almost directly to the north, and a bit farther out the smoke effects of a paper mill. The solitary lighthouse and surrounding ocean are visible to the northeast, and to the east you can see the shattered steeple of an old church rising above the treetop. Winding through it all is the thin black ribbon of the Miskahoney, and right in the center lies the little clearing of town square. You can just make out the shape of the obelisk from up here. The road doubles back on itself, east to southeast, winding its tortuous way up to the top of the hill. Michael is here. Michael goes southeast. Thank you, Jericho, for the host. I appreciate you. I did turn off all of the alerts, though. No relaxing jump scares tonight. Front of the house. It seems we've arrived. Gnarled and ancient trees surround a small clearing at the top of the hill. The road enters the clearing from the northwest and sweeps around in a wide curve, ending in front of the house. It looms before you in the deepening twilight, the fabled Verlac family mansion. Its dark, creaking presence dominates the clearing and, somehow, even though it is not visible through the tree, the entire valley below, somehow, the shadow of the Verlacs seems to enshroud all of Anchorhead from here. Attached to the front door is a typewritten notice. Michael waits impatiently by the front door. The rain slackens off momentarily to a weak drizzle, and returns afresh in a brief freezing down. Read notice. You pull the notice down and squint at it in the gloom. It's a letter from the Miskahane Regional Utilities Company explaining that, due to wiring difficulty, the electricity will not be installed until next week. No phone service either. Well, that's wonderful news, remarks Michael dryly, reading over your shoulder. Overhead, clouds flicker in a greenish haze of sheet lightning. Interesting. We have the keys. We're at our house. Open door. You unlock the front door with the key to the house. You open the front door. Michael enters the house. Oh. You close your umbrella as you step inside. Foyer. A gloomy and forbidding entry hall, with tall, narrow doorways leading east, west, and south into pitch-black room, and a steep staircase leading up to the second floor. The north front door stands wide open. Stacked in a towering heap in the middle of the room are all your luggage and belongings, which you would send ahead through a moving company before driving up to Massachusetts. The reality of this move finally slams home as you stare at the jumble of stuff. Virtually everything you own and care about, boxed away and piled up in the middle of the floor. Michael is here. Night has fallen. A cold, noiseless draft coils through the foyer and up your back. You're momentarily seized with an almost childlike fear. That of being tiny, timid, and alone in a big, dark place. Feeling passes, but not without a shiver. Michael stretches out his arm and yawns. Well, he says, I think I'm going to turn in. We've plenty of time to unpack and explore tomorrow. Good night, hun. Kisses you on the cheek. Don't stay up too late. Michael goes upstairs. Door's wide open. Probably should shut that. You close the front door. That's good. Do we lock the door? Lock the door? Lock the front door. Now, the question is, go to a hotel, stop. Should I explore the house this evening, or should I go to bed? You tell me, chap. You tell me, chat. Find a candle? It is awfully dark in this house, isn't it? Let's look around. Gloomy and forbidding entry hall. Ah, very good. And the gun? search. Oh yeah. Can't see. Let's see if we can just search. What do you want to search? Luggage, maybe? Honestly, I just can't muster enough motivation. I don't blame you. The problem is, it's nighttime, and everything is pitch black. Inventory. You're wearing your trench coat and your wedding ring, and holding a typewritten notice. A key ring with a couple of keys on it, a styrofoam cup full of some cold, murky coffee, and your umbrella. The pockets of your trench coat are empty. Well, I'm happy to see that I kept the coffee. It seems like the game doesn't want me to continue looking about. Everything is dark. I won't be able to see. I can't search the luggage, so let's just go upstairs. Narrow landing. A narrow hallway runs west from the top of the stairs down the length of the house. To the south, directly up the stairs, is the master bedroom. It's a good question, Special K. I have many, many hands, it appears. Let's see. Alright. Alright, let's go ahead and go... the master bedroom. Let's do that. Who had it select? Master bedroom. Pale yellow wallpaper and sketches hanging from the walls. Sketches hanging from the walls lend this room a bit of faded, rustic charm. Almost half the room is dominated by an enormous four-poster bed, with a full-length dressing mirror standing opposite. An old-fashioned accordion-style radiator gurgles quietly beneath the window. To the north, the doorway leads back out to the hall. A small bathroom lies east. Michael was curled up in bed, fast asleep. Should I go to bed, or should I... Well, let's consider. Is she naked under the trench coat? Probably not. Undress? You take off the trench coat. You take off your clothes. I'm also kind of filthy. Where is there a... Ooh, let's go to the bathroom. East. Bathroom. Small room decorated in cold, white tile, with most of the space taken up by a large cast iron tub. Bedroom lies west. Examine. Tub. An old-fashioned clawfoot tub, practically deep enough to swim in. You'd spend hours soaking in that thing. Let's fill it. Fill tub. The bathtub is not waterproof. The sink would leak out. We'll go with take bath. That response terrified me. Grateful for the chance to relax, you draw a hot bath. The gas, at least, must be running, even if nothing else in the house is. And so, the tension of this strange day melts gently from your body. After 30 minutes or so, you begin to feel normal again. After 45, you begin to think you might have been able to adjust to this place after all. By then, the waters begin to grow cool, however, so you drain it and quietly dry yourself off. All in all, you feel enormously better. I have no idea what that meant, Special K. That makes no sense. Alright, we're dressed, we're dried off. Let's go back. Look around. See if we can find our exits. Clothes lie in an untidy pile on the floor. You also see your trench coat, your umbrella, styrofoam cup, key ring, and typewritten notice here. Okay. So we go west to the bedroom. Michael is curled up fast asleep. Lie down? Or just lay down? Whatever. Lie down. Lay down. Enter bed. You crawl into bed next to Michael. Pull the covers up to your chin. So, sleep. Almost immediately you fall asleep. As the wind slithers around the eaves and the house creaks furtive secrets to itself, you drift into troubling dreams. Ready? Whoa! You're waiting in your bed with the coverlet up to your chin, waiting for Father to come tuck you in. Footsteps in the hall pause outside your door. Close your eyes. You open them again. Father is standing at the foot of your bed. His eyes are bloodshot, rimmed with red. You wonder if he's been crying. Slowly, he starts to take off his belt. Only, it's not your father after all. Michael. He hands you a golden sphere and says, I don't know when it opens yet. I have an idea. Your reflection is like a little doll trapped inside the sphere. Everything is tinged with gold. Your face swells and stretches comically as you stare back at yourself through the curved, distorted surface. Reaching out, your fingers curve back on themselves. Your sphere shatters. You're running from the eyes, the terrible red-rimmed eyes, through the endless, narrow corridors, wooden slats and crumbling plaster. You stumble through turn after turn, hopelessly lost. There's a small hole in the boards. Peering through, you see Michael in the study, typing diligently away. You scream, you pound on the wall. He can't hear you. The eyes draw closer. You hurry down a twisting passage until you stop abruptly at a dead end. The walls crumble. You're running through the streets, following the wind, chasing something terribly important until you reach another dead end, a high brick wall at the center of a labyrinth of twisting lanes. Written across the wall in black spray paint are the words, "He always returns to his blood." Behind you, the buzzing on a fly. Turn. The second day. It's hard to prevent the impression of a faint, malign odor about the village street, as of the massed mold and decay of centuries. It's always a relief to get clear of the place. H.P. Lovecraft, The Village Horror. That takes me to the end of the first day. I think I'm going to continue for a little while. My voice is feeling pretty good and that went by very fast. At least for another 15-20 minutes or so. You wake up. Steam billows gently by and you hear the sound of running water coming from the bedroom. Bathroom. Master bedroom. On the four-poster bed. Pale yellow wallpaper and sketches hanging from the walls lend this room a bit of faded, rustic charm. Almost half the room is dominated by an enormous four-poster bed. A full-length dressing mirror standing opposite. An old-fashioned accordion-style radiator gurgles quietly beneath the window. In the north, a doorway leading back out to the hall and a small bathroom lies east. Your clothes lie in an untidy pile on the floor. Clouds of steam billow out from the direction of the bathroom. Michael's pants are draped across the foot of the bed. You can also see a typewritten notice, a key ring with a couple of keys on it, a styrofoam cup, perky coffee, your umbrella, and your trench coat gear. Michael is having what sounds like a spirited discussion with himself, probably sounding out dialogue for one of his stories. Let's see if there's anything more specific. Ring is a little loud. Very well. That should fix that. You'll have to get out of bed first. Get out of bed. Not feed. Get out of bed. Reluctantly, you do so. Pick up clothes. Taken. Oh, that sucks. Now I have clothes. Drop clothes. Drop. Fantastic. Look. Let's go into the bathroom. The bathroom appears to be occupied at the moment. Let's examine his pants. You and I are thinking the same thing. Michael's pants. They are one of approximately a dozen pairs of perfectly identical plain khaki pants owned by your husband. Notice something in the back pocket. Examine pocket. The trench coat. Oh. You bought this coat for your honeymoon in England. In addition, you looking very cool. Your coat has several deep pockets, which you can fit just about anything. The shower suddenly stops. Examine back pocket. Michael emerges from the bathroom, toweling his hair. "Hey, looking good, sweetie," he says with a wink, giving you a kiss on the cheek. He tosses the towel back into the bathroom and starts getting dressed. Open back pocket. Michael will probably not appreciate that. "Listen, I don't actually start work until Monday," says Michael, "so I think I'm going to stay home and get some writing done. You go out today, see if you can find a newspaper. I want to learn as much as I can about this town." He looks at you for a moment, and his voice becomes serious. "Hey, I love you. You know that, don't you? I really want us to try and be happy here." Michael goes north. "Well, I guess I should get dressed." You put on your clothes. Now, my clothes are filthy, so I don't know what I was all about there, but whatever. Let's see. Let's get everything. Look. Get everything. Keyring taken. Typewritten notice taken. Styrofoam cup. Umbrella. Trench coat. You're carrying too many things already. Oh. Drop. Cup. Take. Trench coat. Wear. Coat. Put on the trench coat. Fantastic. Now. Let's explore the house some here. South. How do I exit? North. Okay. Narrow hallway runs west from the top of the stairs down the length of the house. To the south, directly opposite the stairs, is the master bedroom. Let's go to the west. Let's see what this house has to hide from us. Upstairs hall, the shuttered window at the end of the hall throws a gloomy rectangle of light onto the bare wooden floor. Doorways lead north and south. A cord dangles from the ceiling, right about level with your face. Now, I would have to say that this playthrough has been rather tame. So, let's go into the attic. Pull cord. With a rusty, ratcheting groan and a brief shower of dust, the trapdoor swings down and unfolds into a rickety wooden ladder that leads up into darkness. It seems dangerous. Climb ladder. It's pitch dark and you can't see a thing. Let's go back down till we can find some form of light source. Not going to be able to go up there. Open Actually, let's see if we can just go north. Child's bedroom. This must once have been a child's bedroom. The bed is comically small compared to the one in the master bedroom. A little vanity table occupies the opposite wall, and in the corner underneath the window stands an antique crib. The only exit is to the south. On the vanity table is a jewelry box. Examine box. Hardly larger than your hand. Made of wood and charmingly decorated with a picture of children dancing around a maypole on its closed lid. A plaything of one of the later Verlac children, maybe? Have a good night, Special K. Thank you for dropping by. This one won't be going on for very much longer. Probably about 3 more minutes, and then I'm going to quit. Open box. You open the jewelry box, revealing a silver locket. Interesting. Examine locket. The oval-shaped locket is held shut with a tiny clasp. Take locket. Open locket. You open the silver locket, revealing the picture of a boy inside. Examine picture. The boy in the picture looks no more than 2, maybe years old. Maybe, I missed a word there, it looks like 2, maybe 3 years old. He's smiling, but there is something disconcerting about his expression, as though his head were not shaped quite right, or his features placed slightly off kilter. Perhaps he had Down syndrome, or some similar type of disability. It's difficult to tell, because the picture has been cropped so closely, you can't even see the edges of the boy's face. Only his features fill the tiny frame. Interesting. Clothes. Locket. You close the silver locket. Examine vanity. A simple vanity table scaled down for a child, Spartan in design and almost wholly without decoration. You're a little surprised to find it here, actually, since you would have thought that children of the Verlac household would be discouraged from wearing makeup, jewelry, at least an earlier generation. Search vanity. On the vanity table is a jewelry box. Very good. Examine crib. The crib is made of wood and held together with pegs, not nails. Probably at least as old as the house. Search crib. Crib is empty. Thank God. Nothing worse than moving into a new house that's supposed to be empty and finding a random child in the crib that already there. Examine bed. Single bed, size for a child. A bright coverlet provided by one of the few feeble splashes of color in what is otherwise turning out to be a rather joyless and sparsely decorated house. Search. Bed. Under the bed, you see several long scratches in the wooden floor, though the bed has been pushed back and forth against the wall. Push the bed. Bracing yourself, you push the bed away from the wall, revealing a ragged hole in the plaster behind it. Now we're getting somewhere. Interesting. Examine hole. Looks like someone broke in the wall with a hammer, pulled chunks of plaster out with their bare hands. In it, you see a bundle of soggy pages. Take pages. Slipping the silver locket into your pocket to make room since your hands are now full, take the bundle of soggy pages from the ragged hole. Looks like it was once someone's diary. Must have been a leak at some time behind the wall where it was hidden, as most of the pages are waterlogged and completely illegible. However, portions of a few entries remain untouched. Read pages. Carefully, you turn the sodden pages. The handwriting is that of a young girl. You idly wonder if this might have been the diary of one of Edward Verlac's daughters. No, you see part of a date, just visible in the corner of one page. 1953. This was written several years before Edward was born. Only fragments of a few entries are legible. Father came again to my bed last night. Mother doesn't. Tells me I can't. To be a good daughter. Sometimes it hurts, but Father always tells me I shouldn't cry. Father says a daughter must do her duty if she wants to get into heaven. And I do want to get into heaven. Another entry, dated 1955. My poor little William. Father calls him an aberration, child of the devil, but I don't believe. In the attic, threw the key off Whately Bridge. Go to see him whenever Father is away. Sing to him sometimes, through the keyhole, slip him sweets through the crack under the door. Baby is beautiful. Hurt my sweet baby William. To the doctor, he has a plan. I can never. This locket, sweet William. I will always keep yours. Always remember my face. Nothing else is readable except for one fragmented entry at the very end, dated February 27, 1964. Dead, but not dead yet. Not allow him to go to Edward. He wanted to do William. And learned. Given him the charm against the never take it off, dear Edward. Page is torn away, then fear to sleep, missed at the window. That's all. My impression that the daughter, or this woman, whoever we're reading about, being raped by her father. She gave birth to a small disfigured child. Father kept him locked up, ashamed of him. It seems like she had another child, Edward. And who knows what that ended up. That's all. Now, not entirely certain how we save this. I think it's time we end it for the evening. Learned a lot today. Wow. Let's try that. It seems I saved it as first. Now, tomorrow night, at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, we'll likely be playing Don't Starve together, but if we don't, we do have a few new games that I can play. I've been playing Layers of Fear, single-player first-person horror game. We have Canarium, which I might play. And I picked up 7 Days to Die as a multiplayer game, which one of my regular Forest players has agreed to play with me. We might play that. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Most likely it'll be Don't Starve together. And hopefully this time my dogs won't eat the carpet. So, I do want to give a shout out to a few people real quick before we quit. One of my friends in England, Melendis, went out of her way to make my emotes and a couple of my badges. Those are all in the process of getting finished. So I will get with her soon and finish that, but I hope people check her out. She's doing really amazing things. Other than that, let's see if there's anyone on that we can rate real quick, since I have at least 4 people here. If anyone's on. Here we go. This is a good guy. We're gonna finish this with a quick raid. And I appreciate anyone who's willing to come along for the ride. Let me get this opened up on my Twitch page. Oh, wow. There it is. Wow. Internet's being weird tonight. There we go. Ah, where's the ad? There it was. I missed it. First, I gotta wait for the ad to finish. Oh, what is happening?